Oh, Gavin Wangan, one of the great guys, an awesome guy, and a terrific property too. So make sure you go and have a look at that. We'll be cutting it very fine next week to get back to Toop TV. In fact, Tim's going to be hosting next week. I've got a bit of a charity auction, but we'll go there hopefully with a big sale beforehand. Now, we've got Adrian Smith here, who, as we mentioned earlier, is the General Manager for the region, which is South Australian Northern Territory.
Yes.
Welcome back, Adrian.
Thank you.
Now, we've got a couple of questions. One, I think you can answer.
Thank you.
And then you've got one for me. But what if I go first to get you to answer?
Go for it.
This is from Mark Green. So Mark says, was there anything in last week's budget which will have a significant impact on home buyers or sellers? Right up your alley.
Right. Well, when I had a look at the budget summary, there was talk in there about changes to how we do tax returns, obviously some tax cuts, which are going to give people a bit more money in their back pocket, more cash and savings accounts, etc., as tax deductions on interest changes. But I think the one that's probably the most direct is the changes to the first home savings account, and that relates to the fact that the rules have been you couldn't put money towards your first home until the end of year 4. Now you can do that during the 4 years. For me, the jury's out as to whether that's a significant impact or not. So I'd be saying, from my reading, I can't see anything yet that's a significant impact out of that budget.
Right, thanks very much for that, Adrian. Now, you've got a number there, but we've only really got time for one of those.
Sure. I've got one from AK from Salisbury, and she's asking, do you have any information about the suburb of Gepps Cross in SA, South Australia? The properties in this area seem to have a relatively low price compared to surrounding locations such as Northfield. Do you have any ideas as to why this may be?
Okay. Gepps Cross is not well known by a lot of people. I've sold a number of properties in there. It's really well placed, and there's a number of affordable suburbs. Enfield, Northfield is actually not too bad. Gepps Cross and right through that whole sector, even in parts of Prospect, there's some really good buys in there. And because it is so close to the city, I would be all over those properties. You'll find that anything within 10 to 15 minutes drive of the CBD is always going to be in demand. Those affordable properties in particular, so by all means, get the maps out, get on the internet and seek out those properties. Some really good buys, so good spot to look.
Fantastic.
All right. Now, Adrian, that pretty much wraps up your part of the gig, but what I'd like to say before we say goodbye to you is welcome to South Australia. I hope you absolutely adore it, and I know that your face will be familiar with a lot of people as they're running around in the banking circles. So I hope you absolutely fall in love.
Lovely. Thank you very much, and I certainly have started to. So
great.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Adrian. Now let's head off and have a look at some hot properties before we close the show. Well, thanks for tuning in again. Episode number 30, can you believe it? Now, next week, we have 2 SA finalists, a special treat. One at Myrtlebank, a large family home with a tennis court, and then we head down to Unley Park and we look at this brand new, not totally complete, but a really interesting property with an inside swimming pool and also a turntable in the garage and a car wash. Can you believe it? You'll need to see it next week here, 1 o'clock Wednesday.